It's time for the greatest athleticism you've ever seen in your life. The pros and the leagues are shaking in their boots. With all the videos out there of talented bowlers showing their stuff, there's this series, as it is now time to watch me suck at bowling. Hello and welcome to week 2 of 4 for the month of August 2024's edition of Watch Me Suck at Bowling from Harvard Lanes in Harvard, Massachusetts. So far, with the new approaches, well, redone, shall I say, they are very sticky, and you know when the approaches are very sticky, Watch Me Suck at Bowling really starts to live up to its name, and sure enough it did with a 72 in the first game. So that doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room for the Harvard curse to happen. That is, game 1 is the best and everything goes worse from there. So, like in Fitchburg, at Putnam Street when they redid their approaches and they were sticky, will we start to master them? Or is it going to be another disaster? Will the Harvard curse occur or will it be broken? Let's find out. Game 2, frame 1 ball. For a little more than the first frame, bowler cam did not start. Also, due to this place playing loud music, most of the audio is muted. The first game started with a spare, so we're already off to a worse start. We start off with a wonderful 6. And for those of you who like the pin setters, here's the bowl more clearing the rest of them, for which I cannot do. Here comes a fresh set of 10. And there you go. Frame 2 ball. Hopefully this frame will be better. That was not a good first frame. Well, if there's any good news, at least it's a better start. Frame 2, ball 2. If we can get a spare, as Dave Matala used to say on King of the Palace, it's pretty when it goes. Ball 3, I think forgetting to start the camera was an omen. Let me be clear, it's pretty when the pins go, not just the ball itself. If things couldn't get worse, it's a 3. The world record for the highest score in Candlepin bowling is in jeopardy. We got the 6-1 and a 3-2. Look out, we've got a 9. Frame 3, ball 1. A 72 to start the Harvard curse. That is quite low. Ball 2. Bit of a nasty leave. At least 90% of the lane will get us at least something. And, mission abort. Finally, a bad approach and aborted. Let's try again. Ball 3. Can we get the first decent frame in this game? Yes, we do, but we need much more than that. We got 8. Frame 4, ball 1. So we got our first halfway decent frame. Now to do better. Ball 2. Just can't seem to catch a break, even though the pin action is way better than before. Ball 3. Can we get a second halfway decent frame? Yes, we did, but we need a lot more. That's an 8. So far, the Harvard curse is there, although the gap is closing. We finally got a pair of decent frames, a pair of 8s, but we need a lot more than that for a decent score. We're at 25.
Frame 5, ball 1.
We're going to need at least a couple good frames so we can reverse the Harvard curse.
Ball 2.
The extreme right of the left pin will be the easiest way to get a spare. That's a frame that may help us. Spare.
Frame 6, ball 1. El Stinko the bonus ball.
What will the bonus be? Of course, a larger number. It helps. El Stinko is a weak 4 and a crappy leave.
Ball 2.
We have 2 more chances to avoid the dreaded curse of the fill. Let's see what happens.
Ball 3.
We need 1 more pin for a decent out and very narrow leave. Very difficult. We got 2 of them for a 9. Now we've really closed the gap on the Harvard curse. We got a spare in 5 and a decent 9 in 6. Unfortunately, the first ball only knocked down 4. We're at 48. A good game is possible.
Frame 7, ball 1.
Getting halfway decent frames to the very end will indeed break the curse.
Ball 2.
So far, not exactly accomplishing the task.
Ball 3.
Narrow center leaves. Don't like them. At least 60% will get something. The hope for a good game fades away with a 5.
Frame 8, ball 1.
A good game is still possible, but it's slim. Let's see if we can pull up.
Ball 2.
Or we can see how well we can nosedive this whole thing. At least with the leave that we got, it's possible to get a good out. Chop out the middle for a 5. Here comes the great collapse. A pair of 5s and 7 and 8. The Harvard curse is looking more likely again. We're at 58.
Frame 9, ball 1.
The only hope of making this at least a good game is to get another mark.
Ball 2.
Again, the only good thing about taking out the 10 pin is very makeable spare.
Ball 3.
Can we just beat the lousy 72? Will there be enough force? Nope. We're stuck with 8.
Last frame to avoid Harvard curse, ball 1.
7 breaks the curse, spare and a decent fill, saves the game.
Ball 2.
Very tough chance at a spare. 1 pin will break the curse.
Another failure in the books.
At least the curse will not happen this time. We end with an 8. Once again, another lousy game. Although, again, as we said, the Harvard curse isn't going to happen this time around. Just barely avoiding it. With a pair of 8s in 9 and 10, we eked out something slightly better than last, but still, it's a disastrous 74. That wraps up Game 2 of 4 for the month of August 2024's edition of Watch Me Suck at Bowling. from Harvard Lanes in Harvard, Massachusetts. This is George F551 saying, hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.